Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Just in case you weren't here in the past, 5 o'clock, we opened, 5:30, drinks are served, and now we're at the Welcome by the CocoaHeads team part, and that's me and a bunch of us. So the sun is out, we can actually see outside, winter is over, it's a nice time to be alive. We're here being hosted by Vend, so thank you very much to them for hosting us. And let's get started. So all of you here probably know this because you managed to get here, but we have a Slack community that you can chat with the whole community on, and we share code and chat about things and events, and there's a random channel where I sell old computers. If you're interested in that and you're not on the Slack already, we have CocoaHeadsStockholm.org and you can get an invite there. So this is our wonderful organization team. So we have Martin and Paul, who aren't here today so far. We have Harold, who is our wonderful audio-visual guy, recording the talks for us today. We have Anna and Mustafa, who help organize all the meeting in the background. They host as well, so we kind of rotate it. We all do it together. And of course, myself. I happen to be up here today, but that's not every time. So one thing we're proud about at CocoaHeads is that we have diversity seats. Like, we're trying to promote diversity in our industry. So as part of that, we have guaranteed seats for women at all of these events. So if you sign up, our events tend to fill up pretty quick, especially for an exciting location like here. If you are on the wait list, we have 5 spots that are always reserved. So if you're on the wait list, we will bump you into the sort of coming section of Meetup, in the days leading up to the event. We also do have a code of conduct. The basic kind of TLDR of it is don't be an ass, so we don't tolerate any kind of harassment in any form. Sexual language imagery is not appropriate either on the slides or off of them. You can see our full code of conduct if you like at CocoaHeadsStockholm.org. So for attending and RSVPs, we do tend to sell out pretty much immediately at these events. Excuse me. But then quite often people just don't turn up because it's a free event, right? So we would like to stress, and again, you're all here, so this isn't really for you. But if you sign up and would love to come, but then end up not being able to, sort of telling Meetup that and setting your status to not attending would be appreciated. So then other folks can take your place. Oops. We also have a social media presence. So we have a LinkedIn. You can scan all these codes to get there quickly if you like. We have a LinkedIn. We have our website. We also newly have presences on Mastodon and Blue Sky. And then you can join our Slack with those codes as well. We'll share these about if you miss them. And yeah, please help us improve. We'd love to hear the feedback, any feedback that you have, how we're doing great, how we're not doing great. You can rate and comment on Meetup. We have a feedback channel in the Slack. You can message us directly on however you prefer. So with all that out of the way, it's now time for our host to speak. And I'd like to introduce Allan to give our first talk.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, and welcome here to Vend. My name is Allan, and I work in Vend, and I'll get back to what Vend is. I work in Vend as what we call a principal engineer, but I started actually in this company as iOS developer. And at that time, that was in 2018, the Danish second-hand platform that is called DBA was owned by eBay. So I was actually hired by eBay back in 2018, and later this company was acquired by Schibsted. So my career started as iOS developer for that brand in Denmark. And then later I changed the role into something we call staff engineer, and we can talk about that. And in 2025, I started as what we call principal engineer for our platforms, front-end platforms. And that's a bit taking care of building a platform for all teams on both app and web. And if you want to talk more about that, we can chat after the presentation. I just want to say that there are 3 seats up here if you got tired of standing up, and we have cozy chairs over here, so just come forward if you like. This first presentation will be a bit about the company, so you understand where you are and why these flags with Vend are here. Actually, this day, is the first day of a new company called Vend. And how many of you know Schibsted? Hopefully some, yeah? Schibsted was the owner of both newspapers and marketplaces. A lot of brands, a lot of companies under this umbrella called Schibsted. I guess, I don't remember how long time ago, but last year we split the company into 2. So we have both Schibsted marketplaces that owns all the newspapers, and Schibsted Media that own all the newspapers, and we have Schibsted marketplaces that owns, I guess, 20 brands in the marketplace space. But the Schibsted name belongs to the media part and will keep being alive in the media area. On the marketplace side, we changed the name to Vend. So from today, there is no Schibsted marketplace, but there is Vend that own these companies. So if you're using Blocket and have that app on your phone, you will see a lot of branding with this Vend name, both in the login and other marketing campaigns there. So it's a bit special for us that it is today, and that's why I just for the fun put since May 12th, 2025. That's where we started this company. Vend is going forward a family of marketplaces, and I'll get a bit more into the details, but we specify Vend as the mother brand. That's kind of the company that owns the marketplaces. And as it state here, that it is, we are stating our core business loud and clear, as well as specifying Vend is not a marketplace yet, but the mother brand of these marketplaces. So Vend is the owner of Blocket and Finn in Norway and Tori in Finland and DBA, what that's called in Denmark. And I have not made these slides. It's kind of from our leadership team. And I guess there is a signal here, is that this brand might turn into a common Nordic marketplace brand. I don't know. I copied the slides. So, as I said, we are a family of marketplaces owning Blocket here in Sweden, Finn in Norway, DBA in Denmark, Oikotie and Tori in Finland, and Bilbasen, which is, as the name says, a mobility brand in Denmark. But we have more brands than that. Vend is also owning Casa here in Sweden and other brands. And it's even more than this. I think we have 19 brands in total. We are located in 5 countries, I guess: Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and we have a quite big department in Poland, in Krakow as well. Yes, and just a few facts. As I said, that we are the leading company owning these marketplaces with 19 different brands. We are 700 plus employees only working with marketplaces. We have users with over 300 million monthly visitors. And I guess that was my salary, but some kind of revenue, some big numbers here. And I want you to meet our CEO. He's called Christian, sitting in Oslo. and leading this company. And what I want to talk about in this speech, this first presentation, is just to get you to know us, so you know where you are. And I would talk about some of the bolded words in this statement from Christian. So I would actually like to read it up, because it's quite new and it's kind of summarize a bit who this company is. So Vend is more than a new name. It's a new way of working, thinking and growing together. With our vision that we called Smart Choices Made Easy, and we have a strategy that we call Accelerate Future Winners, we are building a simpler, more focused, pure-play marketplace company. By uniting around a shared purpose, daring to aim higher, deliver real value, we are ready to lead the future of marketplaces, empowering millions across the Nordics and make smart choices every day. This sounds really kind of corporate and very business-like, right? But it kind of highlights a lot of the things that we are working with in this company right now. And I'll take you behind the scenes and talk about a few of them. But before that, just a very quick journey back in time. Many of these marketplace companies, they started with newspapers. I remember, you can see that I'm 25, I know, but I remember earlier that I went down to the gas station and bought this newspaper called, or not newspaper, but this paper called Den Blå Avis, because it was blue, it was a paper with all the ads of used goods or second-hand goods. And that was in the 19th, where everything was in print. I don't know if you recall it. At some point, someone tried to make this digital and actually failed in Norway, but they made a huge comeback. And today, Finn in Norway is one of the biggest marketplaces and one of the biggest brand in Norway, totally. In 2003, Schibsted acquired Blocket, and Blocket went on the net, and that was actually the blueprint from a lot of success stories around Europe, where they copied the concept of Blocket going into several European countries with the marketplace concepts. And a copy was also made of Blocket into Finland, and that was named Tori. And our CEO is very proud that he, in 2012, took this bold move of making mobile first, thinking mobile is the future. We should design and develop our product to be available on mobile devices. In 2012, actually, I think 80% of all internet traffic came from computers, came from desktop. So going mobile at that point was pretty bold. You know, the smartphone came, I guess, in 2008. So it was still early days. Fast forward, all these copies of Blocket into European versions of the marketplace, that was packaged into one company called Adevinta today, that still exists. That is kind of a suite of marketplaces, marketplaces in Europe. And then I was onboarded because I worked in the DBA in Denmark, and in Denmark we were acquired by Schibsted because Schibsted wanted to have one Nordic marketplace company with representative platforms in all the Nordic countries, and that happened in 2020. And we could see at that point that now we had Blocket in Sweden, we have Tori in Finland, we have DBA in Denmark, and we have Finn in Norway. All of them working on different platforms. But they did basically the same. So selling a t-shirt in Denmark, a second-hand t-shirt, is pretty much the same as selling a t-shirt in Sweden and selling a t-shirt in Norway. So we decided that all these 4 brands should go into one common platform. That's what we are still working on that, and we call that our consolidation project. Taking the old DBA, moving it into one common platform. And the same with Blocket and the same with the other. So that's what we call platform consolidation. That started in 2024 and is still ongoing. And then today we become Vend, splitting Schibsted into two, the marketplace and the media, and then renaming the marketplace part to Vend. In the company, and I guess all you guys hopefully is a little bit interested in the possibilities and the opportunity space when you work with app development. So that's why I would talk a little bit about how we work and take you a bit behind the scenes. This is our company strategy. And one part of the company strategy is to simplify. And to simplify the amount of companies that we own and only focus on the marketplace part. That's about simplifying. Earlier, we owned a lot of small companies with different purposes, and there was no red thread across these companies. So now we want to be a pure marketplace company. Within this company, we are specialized in 4 different areas. The second-hand part that we call re-commerce, because it's about reuse and second-hand parts, that's one that we call re-commerce. We also have mobility, that is about selling cars. That's a bit different business model than selling a t-shirt. We also have jobs, when you're seeking a new job. That's quite big in Norway. And we also have real estate, when you buy a new home, which is also a business area for us. So even that selling a car or selling a home, that is also part of a marketplace. Sometimes when we talk about marketplaces, there is a tendency that we think about it's all about selling used stuff that you don't use anymore at home. But it's also about seeking jobs. It's also about buying a new home. And these 4 business areas, we want to strengthen those in our strategy. And when this concept is in place, we want to expand again into other markets. Some time ago, we took this decision that these 4 business areas should be as strong as possible. So inside this company, Vend, we have actually organized in 4 different units, which is these 4 verticals I talked about. And we want to encourage them, or we actually want them to drive their own business. And we want to innovate the product within the business. And that's why we are calling it setting them free, allowing these internal business units to work independently from each other. And as I said before, we have re-commerce, that is second-hand goods. We have mobility, that is about selling cars. We have jobs, when you're seeking a new job. And we have real estate, when you're buying a new home or renting a home. And as app developer, you work in either one of these 4. We actually underneath have something that we call the platform that makes it easy for the verticals to develop their product. And you could also work in the platform layer. I'll skip these ones. And just to give you some insights on how strong Vend is in the Nordics, I've just taken a few slides that is about the numbers. And for the re-commerce, and I'll have one slide for each of these. For re-commerce, which is the thing about selling second-hand goods, the brand awareness in Norway is 86%, meaning that 86% of the Norwegian population know about this brand and use this brand. You see in Blocket in Sweden and Denmark, DBA in Denmark, it's around 50%. I was actually a bit surprised when I saw this number, because I would expect 100% of the Danish population know about DBA, and the same here in Sweden. but this is how it is measured. And in Finland it's 77%. But it says something about the brand is quite strong in the companies. In the countries. It's a bit different when we come to the other area. So our mobility part, you see that we have mobility, the possibility to find a car on our marketplace. That we see ourselves as number one actually in Norway. We see ourselves as number one in Sweden with Blocket and Bytbil. And the same in Denmark, we have a quite strong brand called Bilbasen, but we are not present at all in Finland. And this is a business decision saying we want to be where we are number one because it's so much easier to earn money and innovate products and making good products for the users when you are number one. If you're number two in a market, you're always lagging behind and trying to keep up with the winner. So we have said we will invest where we are number one. So this unit called mobility, they are not focusing on Finland at all. And then a bit more narrow when it comes to the jobs, we only exist in Norway when it comes to jobs. So we don't have a job offering on Blocket, for example, anymore. And the last thing with real estate, you see, and maybe you know, if you know the Casa brand here in Sweden, that's not part of our marketplace positions, but we have a brand that is very strong here in Sweden. And we are not present with real estate in Denmark at all. But it's just to give you an insight. So if you come and work for Blocket, you will not work for Blocket, but you will work for Vend, and you will be in one of these 4 areas. And maybe something interesting that is a bit more app specific. This is kind of per brand, the users that we have from platform measured in user sessions. So you see our native apps is quite strong in all brands. In all brands without exceptions, we have more than 50% of the traffic coming from our native apps. And I actually think this is wrong, but you know how it is with numbers. I think Android in Blocket is 25% or something. So apps in Blocket is pretty strong. Before we decided to move all these brands into a common platform, we have had 20 app developers in Blocket-ish, 10 on iOS and 10 on Android. The same in Norway. In Tori, there was only 4 app developers maintaining this platform, and we were 6 in DBA. And as I said, since we are doing almost the same, maintaining an app for second-hand goods, it doesn't make sense to build 4 different apps that does the same. So that's why we're having this consolidation project. So right now, as I said, the app developers, they work in the verticals instead. So we have 17 app developers that work with secondhand, our secondhand marketplace. We have 9 that works with mobility and jobs and real estate like this. And then as I also said earlier that we have this, we call it PTX Core, which stands for Product and Tech and UX. That is our platform layer.
Excuse me, what the DEFC? Can you say again?
Which one?
What's the meaning of DEFC? For DEFC. 6.
Developers. Yeah. So it's the number of developers in that specific brand. Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, there was 6 developers, 3 iOS, 3 Android, working for this brand in Denmark. And now in the big company in Vend, we have organized this way instead. So we don't have developers that work specifically for the Blocket app. They work for the Vend, and then we distribute that to the different brands. And I'm going to wrap up here, but I will take you into some more details about how we work. As I said, we are consolidating 4 brands into one platform. And that started, I guess, 2 years ago, starting with the Finnish brand called Tori. And at that point, we really didn't know how to do that, because imagine that we have a running platform with thousands of users that posting ads into the platform. We have millions of visitors every month, and transforming those into a new platform without breaking stuff from one day to another. That was really, really, really risky also for our business. So what we decided to do is move those users 1% at a time, scale it up to 2% and 3%. So some users get the new experience and some users got the old experience. And that's how we did it. And that was super, super painful, because then we have synchronization between those two environments. And it was also super difficult, as you could imagine, with the apps, how to get apps out to some users and not other users. We're really, really a pain. We had just done the same exercise in Denmark, where we moved all the users overnight to the new platform. And that was a huge success and very, very simple exercise to do. And Balder, my colleague, will take you through how we did that on the native apps. So it will be much more app specific. Yes. And you're getting closer and closer. Is that something about time?
We are. I mean, you're hosting, so you set the time.
Okay, yeah, I will wrap this up. In this new company, we have some internal values. The values is kind of the way we want to work together. It's kind of bringing, it's setting the scene for how we operate. And I really, really like these new values. It feels, when stuff like this is presented for employees, it feels so corporate. So it takes some time to get it in and kind of to live the values in a company like this. But I think it tells a little bit about how we think and what kind of what kind of workspace this is. We want to unite because our belief is that our core strength is in our employees. That is set and it's lived out all the time in this company. And we really feel a strong connection to each other across the whole company, which is make it actually more fun to work together and achieve our common goal. We also having a values that say we dare to do stuff. We dare to think out of the box. We encourage our employees to speak up and say their mind, challenge stuff, and actually also do it even that it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. So we really embrace diversity and that we have different minds that thinks differently. And in the end, we also want to deliver, and we don't measure our delivery in just only work and sitting at night and putting all your working hours into it. No, we measure it by bringing real value to our users. And that we can skip. So with that, thank you. And I think we should just have questions now if you have questions to this part. I know it's a bit not that app related, but it's to give you some insights in the company. The most important for me was kind of to present the new brand name. Any questions about that? We'll hang around afterwards, so if you have any questions about role, company, ways of working, whatnot, then just come. Yeah? Good?
Thank you very much.